Welcome back to part 2 of the Deidra Lane story. And when I left you guys, I told you that Deidra had an incredible spending habit that would prove to cause a lot of problems in her and Fred's marriage down the line. Fred and Deidra did have a child together named Pilar. And after the birth of Pilar, they decided that Deidra could stay at home and be a stay-at-home wife. Now, while Deidra was a stay-at-home wife, the problems at home became extremely difficult. They started to get into fights, and her spending started to be more and more an issue. And she began to complain about him being on the road. And in 1999, he was traded to the Colts. But there is actually a domestic abuse situation that is recorded by the police that happened between Deidra and Fred. They said that an argument ensued and Deidra ran out of the house to a neighbor's house to call the police. When Deidra was running, Fred came after her and actually snatched a necklace off of her neck, which resulted in her being cut. Now, I know this is totally off subject, but as I was researching this particular case, I was reminded of when T.I. grabbed the necklace from Lauren London in ATL. Guess these men really don't play about these necklaces. But this is a sidebar. Let's keep going. So just 4 months after that domestic abuse situation occurred, Fred comes into their home. Like, he comes to the house, and upon entering, according to Deidra, which we gotta take with a grain of salt, y'all, she said that they had an argument and that Fred began to choke her. She felt completely threatened, that she grabbed a shotgun and the shotgun was aimed at his face and or chest, okay? She said, and then he tried to wrestle the gun from her. At that point, she shot him fatally in his back. When the police arrived, Deidra said that it was a self-defense situation. She was fighting for her life. But as the police began to look around the house and begin to investigate, they said, you know what? This is not looking like a self-defense situation. Now, Deidra did say when she arrived that it was self-defense, but she didn't have any bruises on her, and she only complained about a pain in her shoulder. Stay tuned for the conclusion in part 3.